do you have those life skills? Are you effective communicator in terms of putting across your thought, but also able to understand what the other person is saying? Can you do that? Okay. And like I mentioned, do you have survival skills? Can you cook properly, or at least can you cook to make sure that you are not reliant on a cook if you lose your job, for that matter? So these things you have to keep in mind, and these things our education system just doesn't teach us. And that, my friend, holds you from being truly independent, because you are always dependent on your job for money. You are dependent on a cook for cooking your food. You are dependent on your maid or whoever to do your dishes, to clean the washroom. So are you really independent? So while we celebrate Independence Day, I just wanted to talk a bit about this personal independence also. What I am coming for here is really, I'm talking about people who have privilege in their brought up. Because let me be very frank with you, a person whose family is struggling to make ends meet, or a person who barely has enough food to eat, they are not really, and I'm not talking about them learning all of those skills. For them, studying, getting a good job helps just take care of the financial state. So whatever I'm telling here, it applies to, and I'm more focusing on people who have a very stable financial background. Okay, let me make that very clear. So you have gone through your education, you have become maybe a doctor, maybe an engineer, maybe a CA, or you may be posted in some government organization. What has this entire achieving thing led you to in your life? For most of the Indians that we know, it has not led most of them to anywhere. And I want to talk about that in this video, that why, even though you have a successful life, but you're not happy. I mentioned about what are the things that really happened, right? So you did excellent schooling. Throughout your school, you followed whatever was told to you, and mostly in schools you are going to see a similar picture amongst whoever goes to school. So you will have this child who has this massive bag on his or her back. They'll have that huge bag. They'll be going to school. In school, they'll be learning something, but they'll also be socializing with a lot of people. And right after school, they'll be returning, and then maybe after an hour, maybe a couple of hours, or maybe directly going from school, they'll go to a tuition center where they're studying. They'll come back, maybe do a bit of homework, and then again the process repeats every day. So that leads you to get good colleges, potentially potentially good colleges, potentially a great job and stuff. But what does that take away from you, right? What does that take away? It takes away from you to learn from other people and to develop a lot of human abilities which you will not develop by just studying. So when you talk about holistic development, okay, that is something which is severely lacking. If you can do, or rather if you can solve a lot of algebra problems, I'm talking about science, and if you are excellent at matching balance sheets, or you are excellent at English grammar for that matter, does that make you a holistically grown individual, an early adult? No, it doesn't. It's part of it, but again, we are talking about holistic growth. Holistic growth happens when you are decent, or you have acceptable levels of performance across most facets that life deals, or rather throws at you. So since I'm a boy, let me give you a bit of context on boys, right? So when you are growing up, when you are in school and stuff, apart from your maths or subjects or education subjects, whatever, do you know how to cook? Do you know that? Do you know how to make basic, say, rice, uh, maybe a chapati, and then some sort of other curry that you have, like dal or whatever, right? Do you know how to make a sandwich if you are not really interested in Indian foods? So do you know any of these? Because let me give you a fact check. Cooking is a life skill. Okay. So do you know how to cook? Do you know how to swim? Do you know how to run properly? I mean, can you run more than 1 kilometer? Can you do that? These are things which you really need to question yourself. And these are things which are, again, like I mentioned, holistic growth in terms of life skills that you have. And these are very basic skills. Now let's talk about another skill which most of us lack, knowing how to communicate. And when I'm talking about communication, I'm not just referring to talking to other people like I started off here, but rather both talking and listening. Are we able to do that? Are you able to convey your point to another person without maybe offending that person or hurting their sentiments or whatnot? And can you listen to someone who has different viewpoints from you and actually understanding why they have a different viewpoint, or understanding their viewpoint, and not just start a quarrel with them? Do you have these skill sets? So because these are the things which is going to help you navigate through life better. Your school, whether it be Delhi public school, whether it be a government panchayat school, none of these schools really allow you to do any of it. Okay, most parents, they and nothing against them. Okay, so these are the things I feel that you really need to learn for both boys, girls together. I'm not talking about only one gender needs to learn this, one gender needs to learn that. All of these skills are gender agnostic. Okay, some people may find that offensive, but hey, this is my YouTube channel, and I'll speak my mind. So if you're offended, please click off through this video, but hopefully I'm able to make that clear with you. So these are the things which is very important for people, or rather for children, to learn when they're growing up in their formative years. So my request is for parents, apart from enrolling your child to FitG, to I don't know what else is there in MBBS and stuff, rather than putting so much effort in that, put also a bit of effort in teaching them life skills, right? Do that rather than spending your time on social media and stuff. You as parents also have the responsibility to give these skills to your child. Okay, because children learn a lot from their environment, and if you are just there as a bank account basically, of only providing money for the child to do this education, that education, go to this tuition, that tuition, this school, that college, you're not really doing a great job as a parent. So keep that in mind. Now coming to another aspect of it is, if although you have not developed these things in your early formative years, it's important that you put a focus right now on developing these skills. Okay, because these things matter a lot, especially also when you're employed. Because if you think about it, right, you are paying, say, let's talk about a house help and a cook. You are paying anywhere maybe from 5,000 all the way maybe 10 to 15,000 depending on where you live. And sure, if that money that you're spending on these people, for example, is allowing you to free up more time to either rest a lot and recover your health, and also do other things that you love. For example, I love photography. So if paying someone to do these work allows you to explore other aspects of life rather than your job, then by all means it's great. But you need to learn these skills so that in case you come across a financial eventuality or a financial crisis, that you are capable of managing a lot of things in life on your own rather than being heavily dependent on others. So again, I would like to end this video with wishing all of you happy independence. But independence also needs to be you being able to take care of your life on your own also to a large extent. And for that, like I mentioned, your school, your college, your job, they help in a certain aspect. The other holistic development that you need to look for, and I hope you do after watching this video, is learning how to talk to people, learning how to listen to people, knowing how to cook, knowing how to walk a lot so that you can go to the market, get vegetables and stuff, cleaning your own bed, cleaning your own room, doing dusting, and cleaning your own clothes. So all of these things matter. All of these things actually will lead you to, let's say, not have a very, very independent life, but whenever you come across any eventuality in terms of any crisis, you will have core life skills that's extremely important for you to not feel dependent on your money. Because trust me, all of these things, if you want to get help for, is going to cost you a lot of money. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Happy Independence Day for whoever is watching in India. And yeah, that's it. So see you in the next video. Bye bye.